All right, 3, 3. All right, like I said, it's calculator day. And now that you know there's two different kinds of angles, you have to be aware of what mode your calculator is in from this day forward, including the exam in January. So today is all about what mode should my calculator be in. And you have two options, degree mode or radian mode. Well, first of all, there's only 4 times when you actually care about the mode that it's in. If you're not going to touch these buttons, it doesn't matter. So, I only care about mode when I use these buttons. Sine or its inverse, cosine or its inverse, tangent or its inverse, or that degree, minute, seconds business. If you do a problem and you're not touching any of those 4 buttons, it doesn't matter what mode you're in. So if you're taking your chemistry test, you're like, oh my god, I was in radian mode. I doubt you touched any of these buttons, so it doesn't matter. So in here is the only time. If you touch any one of these 4, you better be aware of your mode, because otherwise you're going to get the wrong answer. So let's start some examples, and you're going to tell me, how do I know what mode I should be in? Then I've got a worksheet where they're all mixed together. So here we go. Find each ratio to 4 decimal places. We're going to look at the cosine of a 25-degree angle. So I'm going to touch the cosine button. What mode do you think I should be in? Why degrees? Because I'm working in degrees. That's as common sense as it is. If I give you a degree angle, you better be in degree mode. Do you know how to check your mode? The scientific ones, I think, on the screen display a little D or an R. The graphing ones, it's hidden. You actually physically have to go press mode, which is in your top, right here along the top. Mine is in radian mode right now. Got your 3rd line down. So I've got to switch mine to degree mode. So I come down, degree. Now I can do this problem and get the correct answer. If I'm in radian mode, it assumes that that 25 is radians, which isn't even close to the same spot. So cosine 25. Easy enough to type in. No degree symbol needed because I'm in degree mode. So 0.9063. The tangent of pi over 10. So again, what mode now? Radian mode. You don't see a degree symbol there, that's automatically a radian. So I'm not going to make you switch for every single problem, but so we are going to go back and switch to radian mode. So tangent, pi over 10. .3249. Now the tough ones too. Now it's not just deciding what mode, but how do you deal with those 3 that are reciprocal functions? How about the cosecant of a 1.68 angle? Well, what is this 1.68? What form is that in? That's a radian again, so we want to be in radian mode, and we're still in radian mode, so we don't have to switch that. So this is radian. But do you remember from the last chapter now how to get the cosecant ratio, Megan?
Don't you do, maybe sine of 1?
Yep.
Divided by 1 over 1.68?
No, do not flip the angle over. Never flip an angle over. What you're going to do is get the sine ratio for 1.68. Then what am I going to do with that ratio? 1 divided by that. So the second step is going to be 1 divided by that answer. So it does take 2 steps here. Or you could combine it in one, but I don't like to do that because then people get confused when we're finding angles, and when I just like to do the 2 steps. If your brain can do that in one, you do it. I'm not going to mess with it. So I'm going to go sine of 1.68. There's my answer. Now I want to flip that ratio over. So 1 divided by that answer. Yeah?
How'd you know that 1.68 was a radian?
Because there's no degree on it. We have a symbol for degree, we have none for radian. Okay, good question. So 1.0060. I asked for 4 places. Okay, so try this one on your own, and then I'm going to move on. The cotangent of 2.47. Go ahead and do that one on your own. What did you guys get? Negative something. 2581. And it's just negative because it's this angle, this 2.47 radians, is landing in a quadrant where tangent's negative. So don't, oh, I got a negative. It's okay, that's just the quadrant we're in, remember? So this would either be, if the tangent's negative, we're in either quadrants 2 or 4. Okay. Are we good there? Hopefully. The other thing you have to be able to do besides finding ratios is find angle measures. So number 2. Find angle measures. So the sine of some angle is 0.9641. Because I'm going to be using the inverse buttons here, do you know what mode to be in right now? Megan? Why? Where does it say I want to find a degree measure? Huh? Well, is a radian an angle measure? It doesn't matter. Yeah?
Aren't the radians all like 1 point whatever? But
Nope. Nope. The sine, remember, sine can never be bigger than 1. Sine and cosines will always be between 1 and negative 1. Nope. You're not giving me the answer because I didn't give you all the information. Right now, you don't know. I could ask for that angle in degrees or radians. Where's the extra information that says what to be in? I didn't put it down there. So you couldn't give me an answer right now. There's nothing here that says what form I want this answer in. So the way they do that is they'll go like this. They'll say, here's your second piece of information. Theta is in the interval from 0 to pi over 2. So what is this interval? What mode or what form are these angles here? Now radian. Until this second piece of information was given, you had no clue what form of the angle I was looking for. So now I know that theta is a radian. So this right here is saying it wants a radian angle measure. So, and now it's just like we did before, in radian mode, which I think we still are, you use those inverse buttons and angles, I believe they go out 2 decimal places on angles. So if you do an inverse sine of 0.9641, I got 1.30. Yes, just in that.
Why is it the inverse?
Because we're fine. That's how we get the calculator to tell us back an angle is inverse the ratio. It gives back an angle. So the secant of some unknown angle is 2.6315. And this time I want the angle to be between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So what does that tell us? Put yourself in degree mode, and when you do your inverse, you're going to have a degree answer. So this says degree mode. So we'll switch the mode back to degree. And then, now it's remembering how to do secant. What do you got to do here to get secant? Yes, Isabel.
Divide 1 by 2.6 or 2.6315 and then find the inverse cosine.
There you go. So if I do it in steps, first I would say the cosine of this angle I'm looking for is 1 over 2.6315. So it's okay to flip a ratio over. It is never okay to flip an angle over. Keep that in mind. So then, now I know what I'm going to button push is inverse cosine of 1 divided by 2.6315. And if I was making a note card for myself for a quiz or a test, this would be exactly what I would write down so I know what to execute on a quiz or a test. It tells me, should tell you exactly what to do. So, here we are. Inverse cosine, 1 divided by 2.6315. So a 66.67 degree angle. If it wants degrees in minutes, we can do the convert to degrees in minutes. So whatever form they ask. I think I'm going to ask for 2 decimal places. Cosecant equals 1.4421. Theta is between 0 and pi over 2. You execute that problem. Want me to show the stuff in the middle, I can. What'd you come up with? 2 decimal places. Anybody? 7.7? Anybody need help getting that? You. Okay. First thing, this is cosecant. Cosecant's reciprocal is, so the sine of this same angle, I flip it as over 1, so I can flip it over. 1 over 1.4421. And now it's ready for inverse sine. So type in inverse sine of that fraction we just wrote down, 1 over 1.4421. Good. Okay, I do want to do one more. Don't have a blank sheet there. One more. Nope. Take out your circle sheet. Anytime you see find the exact value, that means the answer's on your circle sheet. This calculator is giving us approximates that we're rounding off. So exact value equals use circle sheet. The sine of pi over 3. What'd you get? Square root of 3 over 2. In agreement? I don't have my circle sheet out. Unless you guys say no, I'm not going to look. Good? How about the secant of 5 pi over 4? Find your 5 pi over 4. Look at the part that's going to give you the secant. And again, I don't have my circle sheet out, and I definitely can't memorize it. Isaac? In agreement? Okay. And then the last bit. Find theta. Let's say cosine looking for an angle. Do I want a radian or a degree? Isaac? You don't know. Very good. You don't know because I didn't give you enough information. Could be either one. Now I'm going to tell you theta is between 0 and 2 pi. What does that mean? Radian and what else? This time you're looking all the way around the whole circle. How many times are you going to find this square root of 3 over 2? Twice. There are 2 spots where cosine equals a positive square root of 3 over 2. And I want the 2 radian angle measures. What are they? So not the degree, but the radian. Isaac?
Is it pi over 6 and 11 pi over 6?
I think so. Because that's going to be the 30. Yes? I'm going to say yes. Are we in agreement? Yes?
So there's gonna be, it's saying that.
Use the whole circle.
So
Yep. If this had changed to say just 0 to pi over 2, where's pi over 2 at? 90. So now you're only looking in the first quadrant, and you would only give me this one. So you got to look here. Yes.
I have a question on example 3, part B.
Yes?
Once you see a negative word.
Is it negative?
Yeah.
Well, don't tell me that. I said I don't have them written down. I'm just kind of making them up off the cuff. Okay, good question, Megan.
Okay,
So it all depends on what happens over here, what you give here. So if I had changed it to 0 to pi over 2, you would have just given me the pi over 6. If I had changed it to, you don't have to write all this down, but we can just talk about it because I think it's pretty common sense. 3 pi over 2 to 2 pi. Where's 3 pi over 2 at in terms of degrees? 270. This is at, so this is just the 4th quadrant. So you would have only given me this one. So does that make sense? So this interval tells you not only what kind of angle, but where to look. So the worksheet I have has it all mixed together to see if you really understand it. Are we good? I think we're good. Yes?
Did I give you my circle sheet when I gave you my test?
Oh, I can look in the folder to see, but I'm gonna say no, but I will look. Okay, that ends this. We'll shut this off.